And on the cover of the magazine this week is an American papacy, and I'm joined today by the author of our cover story, our foreign affairs reporter, Timothy Nerozzi. And Tim, you were in Rome when the new pope was elected. What was that experience like?
I was not only in Rome, I was in Vatican City, and I was not only in Vatican City, I was on the ground just outside of St. Peter's Basilica when the white smoke appeared, and it was maybe the loudest cacophony I've ever heard, just sort of a rolling applause. You don't know, there's no direction it's coming from, it's all around you. And it certainly became an interesting piece to write as the cell phone coverage went down from the amount of people. It was maybe the highlight of my career so far. I'm so happy and so thankful to have been able to even be there for it.
So a lot of people didn't think we'd ever get to see this moment, having a pope who is born in the United States.
Yeah, I would consider myself among those people, and I would say most sort of Vatican observers would have said that it's almost impossible for an American in the current day to be pope. There's a general bit of common wisdom that the papacy doesn't go to the superpower of the world. Now, obviously, the papacy doesn't belong to whatever country the pope came from, but there's a sense that, you know, if America is the superpower of the world and the pope is an American, you're sort of risking a balance of powers being uneven there. And this has gone back for quite some time. Pope Francis, being from the New World, was in and of itself sort of a seismic, once-in-a-lifetime event. But a United States pope from the Midwest, that is something that no one was prepared for.
And so one of the themes of your piece is that people have reacted to the election of the new pope by saying that perhaps he's going to be a foil against President Donald Trump. I mean, we have this whole Trump making America great again. We're now making popes in the United States for the first time ever. Do you think it's on point to say that there will be this conflict coming up between Trump and the pope?
That was the first thing that many sort of media personalities and journalists tried to sort of extrapolate, read the tea leaves from this conclave. And it just doesn't seem to hold up under scrutiny. Really, the folly is trying to graph papal politics, Catholic politics. Even that is sort of like a vulgar term that doesn't really necessarily describe it. But trying to graph the decision-making of the Catholic Church onto a left to right spectrum, onto a Republican-Democrat spectrum, it doesn't hold up. There's a million different spectrums that go into what makes any given cardinal, a candidate. And the Americanness, the American citizenship, and the American background of Pope Leo is certainly significant, but I really don't think that he was being picked as some sort of gladiator to go against Trump. He seems far more conservative than Pope Francis on many different issues. And if they were going for sort of a resistance, we need a woke pope, pope to stand up to the dictator in America, it would not have been Leo. It wouldn't have been Prevost. There are plenty of other candidates from the United States that would have been far more liberal than him.
And so finally, you think in terms of you mentioned the politics within the Catholic Church of being different from the politics of the country, but what do you think some of the considerations were when they settled on Leo as the Pope?
The murmurs around Vatican City were that the key word was stability. We need stability. The word unity was thrown around to various reactions, but there was a sense that Pope Francis, whether you love him, whether you hate him, whether you are indifferent to him, he was a pretty radical pope, just in terms of his personality, his pastoral style, his governing style. There was a sense that there needed to be sort of a period of decompression and a period of slowing things down just a little bit. Some cardinals might have wanted to keep going in the same direction, maybe wanted to elect a Francis too, but even there was a sense of we need to let things sort of settle and we need to let the Catholic Church catch up to the reforms that happened under Pope Francis before we go in one direction or the other. That seemed to be what the conclave was looking for, and most of the cardinals that came out of it, especially the Americans, seemed to be quite happy with the result. So there does seem to be a consensus that Pope Leo is the man for the moment in terms of keeping the Catholic Church stable, secure, and forward-thinking.
Thank you, Tim. If you're following us on YouTube, you can read Tim's story by clicking here on the digital magazine.